And I believe there is a Mr. Clayton that has been combative the last 2 days. I am going to, um, he's going to be denied bond, and I'm going to appoint a lawyer from the public defender's office to represent him. So at least he'll have charges and he'll have a court date that's set.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready to be in.
Stand up, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's start with on the ladies' side with Miss Frazier.
Here.
Miss Frazier, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000, and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. That's going to be a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, fine.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Larry Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived if you are able to post a bond. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, but I have a question about the bond.
Hold on.
Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the
Yes.
appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what's your question?
The bond, does that have to be paid in full? Because I don't have nobody here to buy me out. I'm not from here. I just moved here from Indiana, and I don't have anybody here to buy me out.
Okay, ma'am, I want you to take a breath. Okay. You can go through a bonding company where you would pay approximately between 10 and 12% of the bond amount. So that's
Can I do it
$600.
myself?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, because they told me I couldn't do it myself.
That you couldn't do what yourself?
I couldn't go through a bond salesman by myself. That somebody else would need to do it, and since they live in Indiana, they would have to pay the full amount.
The address you have is a address here.
Yes, that's where I live. I just bought that house. Because I was willing to put my house up, to buy me out.
Which, if your house has a net equity more than 3 times the bond amount, so that'll be approximately $18,000. If there's at least $18,000 equity in the house, you can put your house up. The sheriff's department will place a lien on the property, and when your case is over, they'll take the lien off the property.
Okay. And what is the other way I can go through a bond salesman?
So if you ask for it, you should get there's a list, and I've seen the people where they have the little slip with the bonding companies that are authorized to post bonds here in Clayton County and their telephone numbers, and they will work with you.
All right.
Okay, that's their business model, is literally to help people get out of jail. And so, ma'am, if you're in this position, think about that the next time that you place yourself in a position to be arrested. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Like,
Miss Graham? Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. And the allegation is essentially that you sold 100 pills of MDMA to an undercover agent. Bond is going to be set at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for, what did I put? I'm sorry. I put the wrong date on here. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 7th. I'm sorry, December 6th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
You said the bond, how much?
$15,000.
How much that'll be?
You mean on a percentage?
1,300.
Yes, ma'am. Roughly. And again, I don't work for the bonding company, so I'm not quoting their fee. Okay, you're gonna have to call them and tell them your name, your charges, and they'll tell you how much they'll charge you. Okay. All right, ma'am, you're free to go back.
No,
Did she say she's not understanding?
Yes,
Okay, ma'am, come back. What is it that you do not understand?
the charge, the amount, all of this.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, hold on. The allegation is on March 4th, 2021 at 6142 Old Dixie Highway in Forest Park, you sold approximately 100 pills of MDMA to a confidential, reliable informant.
that's not true.
Ma'am, that's why you get a lawyer and you get to fight it in court. That's the allegation. You are presumed innocent until you're found guilty. Okay? Any other questions, ma'am?
Mm-mm.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back.
Can I, use the phone?
Miss Phillips? Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes,
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jeremy Wise. Do you understand that?
yes,
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Ponder.
Yes, sir.
Miss Ponder, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's
That's
gonna
all
be
I
a-
have, that's all I have is criminal trespass?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, sir, I can make it. Did you?
There's gonna be a-
Sir,
Listen.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Ma'am, and this is for everybody's benefit. When I give you all of the information I give you, I'm gonna ask, do you have any questions? And that's the time for you to state and ask and whatever you want to state and ask, okay?
Yes, sir.
There's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Leroy Vale. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived if you bond out,
Yes,
and
sir.
you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Ms. Ponder?
Yes, sir, please.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what was your question?
I was gonna ask you if you could please have leniency on me and make it a little lower, please, sir. I have some money here.
So, ma'am, I set if I set the bond at $3,000 on all of these cases to try to be consistent. Because, and this is the reason. You are an adult, Mr. Vale is an adult. Law enforcement had to come to your house to basically referee a fight between 2 adults.
There was no physical.
Ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
So what that does is that takes resources away from people that are having their door kicked in. It takes resources away from people who are getting robbed. It takes resources away from people that actually need law enforcement. So when adults get into arguments and they start doing crazy stuff and law enforcement have to come out, we don't have police officers sitting at home with pagers waiting to get dragged into extra help. Okay? So when officers are out on a call and they're at your house and there's no officer available and somebody's getting their door kicked in, guess what happens? Nobody shows up. And the people that got their door kicked in, they start wanting to blame Clayton County. I called the police, my door is getting kicked in and nobody showed up. So, ma'am, the bond is not going to be lowered. And I hope the next time, because I know you're going to get back together with Mr. Vale, the next time that the two of you are in a disagreement, police don't get called. They don't need to get called because the two of you act like the adults that you are.
Yes,
Does
sir.
that make sense to you, ma'am?
It does, and I apologize.
No, ma'am, it's okay. Because if your door is getting kicked in, wouldn't you want the police to come and catch that person?
Yes, sir.
And if they were at my house refereeing a fight between my wife and I, wouldn't you feel a certain way about that?
Yes, sir, I would.
Okay, ma'am. All right. So you have a lawyer. Is there any more questions?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Woods. Ma'am, you have 3 driving related offenses, and they're all set by schedule, which means the bonds are automatically set. So there's a bond for a charge of license not on person. The bond is $500. A charge for driving a vehicle without insurance. The bond is set at $1,000. And a charge for driving a vehicle with an expired license plate or decal. Bond is set at $500. So that's a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
All right. So I have Miss Humbury, and I did a continuance order for her on Monday because she was loaned out to Southern Regional. But I did set bonds, and so I see that she appeared, or she was at least on Judge Knight's calendar yesterday, and she has a bond. So I'm not going to do a continuance order for her when she is able to be released from either the infirmary or the hospital. She can post her bond and she can go about her way.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you want me to tell her how much her bond is?
Yes. Criminal trespass bond is 1,500. Simple assault bond is 2,000, and obstructing an officer bond is 2,000.
And what's the total of that?
Its total is $5,500, and that's without the fees.
Yes, sir. I'll relay the message.
Okay, and we have Miss Godinez Melendez.
Yes, Your Honor. He's coming up.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. All of the rights and privileges that I discussed before apply to you, but you're here before us on a different, different circumstance. You're alleged to be a fugitive from justice, and what that basically means is that there's a warrant for your arrest out of another state. And it looks like it says Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. I don't see the state listed. And there's a warrant for your arrest for dangerous drugs. So you have the right to challenge this warrant. And if you were decide to challenge the warrant sometime between now and 90 days from today, you would have a hearing before a judge in Clayton County. And at that hearing, the judge would have to basically make 2 determinations. One, that you are the person named in the warrant, and 2, that the warrant actually refers to an offense. We don't determine your guilt or innocence.
Yes, sir.
That's for the other jurisdiction to determine. If after that hearing, the judge were to determine that you are the person named in the warrant and that the charges do exist, the judge would sign off on the governor's warrant, which would basically then allow the other jurisdiction to come and get you.
Yes, sir.
That jurisdiction will have 30 days from that date to come and get you. But they can also request an additional 30 days. So it'll be up to 60 days. If they do not come and get you, then the sheriff's department here would contact them and make certain that they do intend to come and get you. And if they are not going to come and get you, you'll be released out the front door. But the warrant is still valid. The warrant doesn't go away. And if you were to leave out the front door and you encounter law enforcement 5 minutes from leaving the front door, they'll run your information. They'll see that there's a valid warrant or that there's a warrant pending for your arrest. And then this process starts all over again.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You have also the ability to waive that 90-day process. And if you were to waive that process, the clock, that 30-day, 60-day clock would start running today. And the same thing would happen if they don't come and get you, that you will be released. But the warrant doesn't go away.
Yes, sir.
I generally advise people that they should hire a lawyer in the jurisdiction that is requesting for you to be returned to, because especially during this pandemic time, they may grant you a bond. And if they grant you a bond and send that information to the sheriff's department here, you'll be released. Because we have no interest in your guilt, innocence. We're only holding you because of the statutory duty that we have, because we would want a person that's being held in another state for that county to hold that person if Clayton County was requesting that person to be returned. Does that make sense to you, ma'am?
It does make sense, but I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if my charge were for the dangerous drug were dropped, what would that mean as far as your situation with the warrant eligibility on this case in Georgia?
Again, if those charges were dropped out in the other jurisdiction,
Like
they
all
sent.
of the,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
all of the, I had more than one charge on me. And so
Okay.
I know that I have 2 charges still pending, but the dangerous drug words are why I'm asking this question.
Okay. So the answer remains the same. If the requesting jurisdiction says to us, we will not extradite her, you get released. If the requesting, as soon as we get the information, you get released. Because, ma'am, we have no interest in you or your charges.
Yes, sir.
So our duty is to hold you as long as the requesting jurisdiction says that they want to extradite you. But we don't hold you forever, because we have to clothe and feed you.
Exactly.
So you're a cost to us.
Yeah.
And so if that jurisdiction were to say, A, we've granted her a bond, you get released. B, we've dismissed the warrant, you get released. C, we don't want to extradite her, you get released. So do you understand that the
Yeah, that's
information
really,
has, hold on. The information has to come from that other jurisdiction to us.
yes, sir.
And that's why I encourage people to hire a lawyer, because I've had that situation occur. I
Yeah,
had one person out of Tampa, his lawyer got a signature bond for him on the charges, and we released him. Because we're not, you're not going to be prosecuted on this charge here in Clayton County.
and so would that mean that I would not sign the waiver and hire an attorney or have one appointed to me here?
Well, I'll say this, by signing the waiver, you put yourself in a position where the clock starts to run.
Okay,
So if you were to sign the waiver, hire a lawyer in the requesting jurisdiction, that may incentivize the requesting jurisdiction to grant whatever request your lawyer is asking.
okay, that makes sense better.
Okay.
May I ask this question, and I'm sorry to put it like this, but if you were in my situation, what would you do? I'm thinking that the best thing would be to sign the waiver, get the clock ticking. I have an attorney in Tuscaloosa, but I'm not able to contact him at this moment. Would he be contacted?
Yes, you should be able to use the phone after this proceeding.
Yes, sir. I don't have anybody to call there is the problem. If I had access
Mm.
to his phone number, I could call his phone number, but that's like the one thing I don't have is, I mean, I could try is all.
Okay. That's the thing that I would suggest you do, is to contact the lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know that what that jurisdiction is doing, but it in this time,
It's,
unless they really want to treat you in a poor manner, they may go along with the request of the lawyer.
okay.
And so that you can then get released from here and have a date to show up in court there.
Yes, sir. Okay. I
Okay.
think my decision will be to do as you advise. I mean, I would sign the waiver today.
Okay, so the deputies will give you the waiver and you can sign, and then they'll send it to me and I will sign, and the clock will start running today.
Yes,
But
sir.
you should also, as quickly as possible, get in contact with your lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, ma'am. Once you sign the waiver, you'll be free to go back. Okay, let's switch over to the male side.
Ashby.
Mr. Ashby. Sir, you've been charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, sir.
Said I can.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Sir, thank you so much.
Okay, you're free to go back.
So
Mr.
Brandon,
Bridges. Mr. Bridges, sir, you've been charged with 4 separate offenses. Failing to stop or yield at a stop sign, bond is going to be set at $500. Obstructing an officer, bond is going to be set at $2,000. Simple battery, bond is going to be set at $5,000. And driving a vehicle on a suspended license, bond is going to be set at $1,500. So that's a total bond of $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah, thanks.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Sure.
Mr. Calhoun, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from an Ashley Burley. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, sir, you're free to go back.
That one works.
Okay, hold on one second. So Mr. Clayton, I understand, has been uncooperative the last yesterday and today, and coming to first appearance. His bond is going to be denied on the entering automobile and motor vehicle hijacking charge. He's going to have a $2,000 bond set on the obstructing an officer charge. And I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent him. There appear to be, at least from my reading of the warrant, he may have some mental health issues that need to get addressed. So I just wanted to make a record of that. Okay, Mr. Davenport, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Katie shade. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Question is, what's the preliminary hearing gonna be about?
So if you bond out, the preliminary hearing is going to be waived, but the preliminary hearing is in your first opportunity to call witnesses to testify about what happened in the case. You don't have to testify. The judge that is sitting at the preliminary hearing, their only determination is whether the charge may have occurred. It's not that you're going to be in the same setting as a trial where you have to be found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. For a battery charge, it would be enough for an officer to say that I arrived, Miss Shade complained of being struck, and I saw a bruise in the place that she said that she was struck. Okay.
All right.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Frost, sir, you charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,500, and 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, which is a felony. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Keosha McLeod. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You're not working, correct?
No.
Okay, you do qualify, sir, for the appointment of a lawyer. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Good,
Mr. Goodman, sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000, and one count of criminal trespass. Bond will be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
I heard you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the name. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from, it looks like a Jahida Bullock. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Not really, because if I do, it's gonna be about the case. No.
Yeah, speak to your lawyer about the facts of your case. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Hamilton, you've been charged with one count of obstructing or hindering law enforcement. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Are you Mr. Hamilton or Hornsby?
Hamilton.
Hamilton, okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I don't believe I have your form for the appointment of counsel. Do you already have a lawyer?
No, I'm seeking counsel myself. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions of me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Hornsby, sir, you're charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property, being a motor vehicle. Bond is going to be set at $15,000. And one count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $16,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Hornsby, you're free to go
How
back.
much was it? How much was it?
Total bond, $16,000.
So my judge.
Mr. Majette, sir, you've been charged with one count of reckless conduct. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Phyllis Taylor. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yeah, I have a question. The person you named is my mom, that I really take care of.
I did not hear the question. You said that person is your mom.
Yes, that's my mom. I take care of her. She resides with me. She's actually just disabled and living with me. I mean, I have somewhere else to go, but I'm just asking, how does that necessarily work?
Okay, so if your mom wants this condition to be waived, she can contact the Solicitor General's office and request that they modify this condition. And if they agree, they will then approach a judge to have the condition modified. Okay. All right. All right, you're free to go back.
Tomorrow.
Mr. Moore, you're charged with one count of criminal damage property. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, criminal damage property in the first degree. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond. Stay away from Machina red wine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're on the edge, but I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yeah, but what if she reaches out to me, like phone or something?
I'm sorry, would you say that again?
If the plaintiff reaches out to me by phone, we can't respond? Or just stay away order, is that physically, or I can communicate by phone?
Completely, no contact. No contact at all. Okay,
Sounds good.
anything else, sir?
That'll be it, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Robert, Mr. Martin.
Mr. Murray, sir, you're charged with one count of obstructing or hindering law enforcement officer. Bond is going to be set at $1,000, and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post this total bond of $2,500?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, sir, you're free to go back.
Robinson?
Mr. Robinson, sir, you're charged with one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth to law enforcement. Bond is going to be set at $1,000, and one count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post this total bond of $2,500?
Your Honor, if it's possible, can I ask for a bail reduction? Due to the fact that I was unaware of my license being suspended due to a child support issue. And currently right now I'm not working due to the fact that, you know, the COVID and everything is going on. So I was just wondering if possible, if you could support.
Okay, give me a second.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Robinson, you have 28 cycles. That means you had 28 encounters with law enforcement. So your request is going to be denied. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Robinson?
Your Honor, I might be able to make the bail if possible. Will that still be an option?
If what will be an option?
To make bail.
Yes,
Okay, awesome. So the total bond will be,
$2,500.
all right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Rogers?
Mr. Rogers, sir, you've been charged with 6 offenses. I've set bond on all 6. The first charge is driving a vehicle with an improper tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. Second count is possession of a Schedule II narcotic. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Third charge is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. The fourth charge is use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is also going to be set at $1,500. Charge 5 is possession of dangerous drugs outside of the container. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And the final count is an open container violation. Bond is going to be set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $14,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
You said the total amount bill is 14?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Okay, Mr. Stevens,
Mr. Smith, Your Honor.
I'm sorry,
That's Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. Okay. Mr. Smith, is Mr. Stevens there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Chantel Smith. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Looks like you make a little bit too much for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Okay, so you're going to have to hire your own lawyer. All right, is there any questions, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I need some escort to my house so I can get some tools and clothes, my work tools and clothes at that, the place where Chantel Smith is. That's our house. So I can need some escort when I bond out.
Yes, sir. Make those arrangements with the sheriff's department as you're bonding out.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're free to go back.
Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, give me 1 second, sir. Mr. Stevens, are you going to hire your own lawyer?
I'm unable to do so at the moment, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working?
No, sir. I actually had a job. I was in the midst of being hired for this situation. I was actually living on the street. So
Do you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Sir, you've been charged with 3 offenses: theft by receiving stolen property. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Obstructing an officer, bond is going to be set at $1,000. And being an unlicensed resident, which basically means not changing the residence on your license after 30 days. Bond's going to be set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir. And actually, I'm not even aware of the last charge. I'm not even sure where they're charged. Why they're charging me really?
Hold on. You're not aware of what charge?
Not changing my address. I'm not aware of that, sir. I don't even have a license, sir. I only have a Georgia ID.
Okay. So on the warrant, it's listed as driving without a valid license. On the bond order, it's listed as unlicensed resident, 30 plus days. So the actual charge that's on the warrant is driving a vehicle without a valid license.
Sir, I was never actually caught driving a vehicle, sir.
So that will be a discussion between you and your lawyer.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December.
Is there any possible way that you could schedule it before? Like maybe possibly during this month?
I'm sorry, sir. Would you repeat that?
I was asking if it's possible for you to schedule it for this month, the month of November instead of December?
No, those dates are already filled up. The dates that we have are the dates that are not full. So do you plan on bonding out?
Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody is coming to bail me out or not. That's what I was asking.
Okay. All right. So all right. So I'm gonna leave these bond amounts the way that they're set. How you've been connected to this stolen vehicle is going to be something that you're gonna have to deal with your lawyer. Judge Knights set these bonds yesterday, and I'm trying to remain consistent with what he thought, but I generally set theft by receiving stolen property being a motor vehicle no less than $10,000, because with the lack of public transportation, when somebody's vehicle is taken, you basically can take that person can end up losing their job, losing their apartment, losing their house, because hold on, sir. And I'm not inviting you to make a comment about it. You've indicated that you don't believe that there's information that's available that you are driving a vehicle, and that's something that you should speak to your lawyer about. Okay.
So,
Is there anything else?
besides that, that was really it. Besides me, actually living from place to place, that's really it. I just have no connection to any vehicle at all, and besides the license and stuff like that has no relevance to me. So,
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions, Mr. Stevens, you're free to go back.
thank you, sir.
Mr. Webb, or is it Mr. Walker? Okay.
How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing well. Mr. Walker, I have you charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, yeah.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Shanika Walker. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Do I qualify for like a mom reduction? Because like my mom, like when she called the police, she said she didn't want like any charges pressed, but like, you feel me? Once after she called, the lady was like, well, she had no choice but to take one of us. Does that make any sense?
So you're saying your mother called the police and then said she didn't want you to be arrested?
Yeah, like it wasn't nothing serious. It was just like a dispute, and then like the heat of the moment, and that was it.
You know the number one cause of people getting arrested? People calling the police. I don't understand this whole thing where people want the police officers to come over and exercise their judgment and then don't want that judgment to be followed through with.
Yes, sir.
The police were not knocking on your door asking if they could come in and arrest somebody, right?
Nah.
They got called to the scene, correct?
Yes.
So it's out of your mother's hands.
Okay. Cool. So you saying that 3,000?
I'm checking your criminal history, but it's pretty certain. I'm pretty certain it's going to stay at 3,000.
Okay, that's cool.
But-
Thank
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
you.
Mr. Webb, sir, you're charged with one count of theft by taking. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be denied because there's an indication that you're still on probation out of a conviction in Walker County.
Yes,
Case number 19 CR 0777. I've set a $3,000 bond on a criminal trespass, damage to property as a misdemeanor, and bond is going to be denied on criminal damage to property in the first degree. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing set on December 10th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Webb. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Cherry,
Okay. Mr. Cherry, sir, you are also charged as a fugitive from justice. Were you able to hear my conversation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions about this process?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and in your situation, it looks like they're saying that there's a warrant for your arrest out of Taylor County, I believe, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what you want to do, whether you want to waive your hearing or you want to have your hearing?
I want to waive my hearing.
Okay, sir. Once you sign the waiver documentation, you will be free to go back, and I'll tell you the same thing I told her. You should get you a lawyer in Texas to deal with this as soon as possible.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so once you sign those, you'll be free to go back.
All seven? Sign all seven of them, the same thing. Go with it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.